Hello and welcome to a brand new, very special Nerds United, the podcast. I'm Greg Mahochko. Joining me as always, he is the reigning and defending, undefeated and undisputed co-host of the year. You know him. You love him. Women want him and men want to be him. Mike Luther.
See, the difference when you say that during just the audio podcast, people can't see me, so they don't know that's not true. Now we're live, and people can look and go, "Greg's not. That's not true. Greg's lying."
Mike, just show the guns, man. You were doing that in the warm-ups. You were just flexing and kissing biceps, and it was a thing to behold.
That's only for you. That's only for you.
I'm blessed.
You have to pay extra for
that. They're paying by joining us live on a Friday night. I don't know how much more they can offer up. But this is episode 300, give or take, of the Nerds United podcast, Jittery Monkey Podcast Network, and JitteryMonkey.com. This adventure started in June of 2013. And here we are. If we did this every week, we'd have many more episodes than just 300. But the early years were a bit of a struggle, Mike, as you know. And you came on 2019, I think we decided.
That sounds about right.
2018, maybe, something like that. At about episode 95. So you've been here for 2/3 of the fun, Mike, and you've made the show better by your participation. So,
well, I try. I was actually just trying to look up which, and you might be right. I think it might have been episode 95.
And I feel like it was June.
It was summertime for sure.
In the summertime when the winter is high. That's a fun reference.
But no, it would have been around 2018 because I'm just looking in. Oh wait, no, never mind. I don't know how to look up stuff. I probably could have done that before this started. I didn't even think about it though.
No. Why would we? What's that, Mike?
I said I've been around for a while though.
You've been around, and again, yes. the show is better because of it. So, look, we are live, streaming this live on YouTube. So, hopefully, some people show up, but again, it's Friday night, and this is the first time, so you never know what kind of audience we'll get. If this is fun for us, we'll do more live videos, and I'll tell you what, we'll build up that YouTube channel one way or another, right, Mike?
Sure. Hey, whatever works.
Because it doesn't just go on YouTube; it stays on YouTube.
Okay, perfect. Actually,
so
that's good.
But if we get any people joining us, interacting us, we'll certainly take their questions, their comments. Otherwise, Mike, we'll just treat it like any other old episode.
Sounds good to me. Does that mean we start with comics?
It means we start with comics. Mike,
all right.
You know where I was this week?
Were you at Twilight Comics, Swansea, Illinois?
I actually did make a stop there, but I for the bulk of the week, I was in New Haven, Connecticut. Do you know what's in New Haven, Connecticut, Mike?
Probably restaurants.
A lot bars, of good probably. Some good bars. I went to a cigar bar, had my first cigar in a few years, because my wife, she's like, I'm not going to kiss you if you smoke like a cigar, and that wasn't a problem because I was a time zone away from her. So went to a cigar bar and did a lot of the. You know how they say you learn a lot at the conference, but you learn a little bit more in the after hours.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I did. Okay. But New Haven, Connecticut is also the home of Yale University.
So you went to Yale, all right. So you can tell people you went to Yale.
I can tell people that I was within streets of Yale. I never actually, just like real life, I never made it.
Okay.
But I was up there for a work conference, had a great time, met a bunch of fantastic people, ate a lot of great food, and drank some tremendous beers. I flew back home on Thursday. And I was like, this is gonna be perfect. I'm gonna be home in time. I'll be able to get the twins from daycare, get Junior from school. And since I was right there before I got the boys, I went to Twilight Comics once, Illinois.
I don't blame you.
No.
I've been thinking about going back here in a little bit.
Let me tell you, there's a little something in your pull folder from me.
Okay, awesome.
And nice. It's not just the one that you got me that I just said, just put that back.
That would be funny if you did that.
That would have been funny. But before I get to the new addition, to the new purchases, while I was, spending time on planes and when I was in a hotel room, I did a little bit of reading. I wanted to share with you and with our listeners and viewers. Thank you very much. Unapologetic Geek says happy 300. Wanted to share a little bit of what I had been reading. And as a continuation of story, a series that I had picked up a while back. Obviously, purchased volume 1 and read that and liked it. Purchased volume 3, but had to order volume 2. So what I did, it finally arrived, and that is Once and Future, volume 2.
Very nice.
A Kieran Gillen, Dan Mora collaboration. And so I started and finished that. And since I had it with me, I started reading volume 3 as well, Once and Future. So quick reads, great art, a fun story, especially if you like Arthurian legends, Excalibur. Spoiler, Beowulf and Grendel make an appearance, so it's pretty cool. So that's where we're at on what I have read. Mike, have you been to Twilight here in the last week or two?
No, but I guess 2 weeks ago. I forgot when I went, but I know we talked about the books I got already. But I read some of them since then. Read Forever Evil. If I can figure out how the camera works. There we go. Which is a continuation of Trinity War, which is one of my favorite comic books that I still have here that I will probably reread one of these days, unless I just keep getting new comics. But it has actually in this one it focuses more on the bad guys than in Trinity War. You have Justice League of America, and Justice League Dark. And this one, you basically have like Lex Luthor and Black Manta. I'm trying to think of who else is in there. There's a bunch of people. It's not just Lex Luthor and Black Manta, although that would be cool. But I really like it because it shows you just how evil and cunning Lex Luthor can be. And it has Lex Luthor in his whatever suit that is.
Mm-hmm.
He makes that. Oh, and Bizarro is in it as well. But so that's a good one. And then I read Flash Year One.
Yes, that's a good story.
Yes, very good story. If you know Flash, you probably know the story, but still good. And then last, certainly not least, I read Count Crowley.
Hey, hold on. I got one of those.
Yes, you should. Yes. I enjoyed this. I think there's volume 2 is out, I believe.
I'll have to look into that. I may have missed that. Best friend of the show, Josh, received and enjoyed his as well. So,
okay. And hopefully best friend of the show, Josh, is reading another comic book that he can then return to you. Then I can get.
Anything's possible.
That means no.
So we talked about what we've read. A couple of the purchases that I made yesterday. I got a new book for the kiddos, but I got a couple of limited series finales. And okay. The first one finally is Jurassic League.
Nice.
This is, it's exactly what it sounds like, folks. This is a dark side dinosaur, and you have a Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, all dinosaurs. It's Elseworlds. It's bizarre. It's kind of fun too. And the other series finale that I acquired, we finally get to the end of the beginning with Batman the Knight.
Okay. I was wondering if it was going to be that one or Berserker.
Berserker, I think, is a 12-issue run, of which there are 10 out, and I believe issue 11 is due out in December. So
okay,
eventually, someday, maybe. And then this is one that was held back for me based on the conversation I had with Tim up at Twilight Comics, Swansea, Illinois. He says, I know we talked about it. Thought I'd set aside. If you want it, great. If not, that's fine too. But this is a trade paperback. It's a collection. Volume 1 of the new Ghost Rider.
Okay. I've never read a Ghost Rider comic. I should probably check one out.
The Ghost Rider that I have read is stuff that I had, like it's like Silver Age, Marvel. It's old. It's stuff I read as a kid. It's the stuff that, like when I go back and I talk about, reading comics on Saturday mornings, waiting for breakfast to be made, and I'm watching cartoons and reading comic books. It was that hand-me-down stuff. So, Ghost Rider's always been a very intriguing, very fascinating character to me. So I'm excited to actually dive in and read some.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let me know how it is.
I'll do that, and I'll do that for all of you, the listeners and viewers, as well.
Perfect. Well, besides comics, there was a little bit of news before we get into our Black Adam review. Should we start with the trailers, or should we start with what I haven't watched? That has a sequel to it. That has a sequel to it now.
Oh no! But before that, did you watch anything here in the last week? Did you watch any more episodes? Have you started Andor yet?
I have not started Andor.
What about what about the Tales from the Jedi or the new series that just dropped half a dozen 10-minute episodes yesterday?
No.
Okay. I heard it was very good. I hadn't watched it. One of my coworkers who was on the plane next to me, he had downloaded the episodes and watched. He's like, I thought it'd be 20 or 30 minutes, but they're all 10 or 12 minutes. But I encourage everybody to watch it. He said very nice things about it, but it's, like you get a young Qui-Gon Jinn and a young Count Dooku.
Okay.
You find out kind of what Ahsoka was doing during Order 66 and how she made it out. You get younger Mace Windu. It's a very good series. So it's definitely on my list. You'd probably be able to knock it out in one evening. It might take me 3.
Yeah. No, I did. I'll check that out though. I didn't see any of that. I close to finishing season 3 of Titans. I don't know how many episodes there are, but I'm on like episode 15, I think, or 13.
15?
I think.
Wow, feels like that's a lot. I'm not disputing. I just feel like that's a lot of episodes. I didn't realize there were that many.
I would have assumed that there was only 10. But
yeah,
there's more. There's more.
And season 4 is out, I believe. Correct?
I believe so. I think the first part of season 4 is out. I'm not really sure.
So
what else?
While along that same vein, I did not know, or if I did, I completely forgot that season 3 of Doom Patrol is out. And I know we touched on it a little bit last week, but I've been watching that, and that's getting more and more bizarre. I mean, as only Doom Patrol can do,
Bradley D.
So I encourage anybody, and Stargirl season 2 is something that I've been slowly picking up on as well. So,
could you please say something about Jamie Farr in a hat for everybody?
I don't know. Not even sure exactly what that means.
Do you not see the comments?
Oh, I do. I just don't.
You don't remember? I remember that. It has something to do with their live they did. And you went because they were doing the 14-hour podcast, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Not live. I don't know if they were live or not. ABCD Bakes, by the way.
I remember the GIF that was left on the comment on the post, but I have completely forgotten all context around it.
That does not surprise me at all. It could have been yesterday.
Let's not talk about things that were forgotten yesterday or missed, or that I fell asleep and completely missed.
Oh gosh, I forgot what. Oh yeah, okay. So Titans. Here's the other thing. You'll be surprised by this, and I think from my 1, 2, 3 cents, Kevin Huntsberger, I don't think he'll like this, but it's in his world. So I actually, for the first time in probably, it's got to be over 10 years. It's got to be 15 years. Watched a whole episode of wrestling. AEW.
That's not really wrestling.
I don't know.
That's botchamania, is what the kids say.
I don't know. The only reason I did it is because I got Sling from. We'll just say I got Sling.
That's all you got to say. Congratulations! I'm happy. I'm happy for you and your recent purchase.
Thank you. Corey is a big fan of it, and so I was like, you know what, I'll check it out. I know I've seen clips and stuff like that. So, but I, like I said, for the first time in probably 15 years, watched like from start to finish, and I'm like, this is exactly how I remember a lot of stuff. Same Bradley D. Same. Yeah. So, yeah, but I know that Kevin doesn't like it because that's what Chad Smart says.
Oh well, let's just believe everything Chad says.
Yes, as well we should.
On other forms of this platform we're using, Restream, in other I guess subscription or service levels, you can actually highlight people's comments and bring them to the forefront for discussion points. Can't do this on the free version, which is what I can afford right now. But speaking of Kevin Hunsberger's world, so being up in Connecticut earlier this week, flying in on Sunday, flying home yesterday, flew into and out of LaGuardia, New York, which is in Brooklyn. Then you have to take about a 2-hour shuttle or bus to Connecticut. And you know what you drive right past? It's right there along the interstate. WWE headquarters.
Oh, okay.
Big building, like black type, windows, like an office building. That WWE logo on the side. The first time I noticed it really late, and I tried to get a picture, but it was blurry and it was not a good picture. And then the second time, I was in conversation and on the wrong side of the bus, so I was not able to get a picture either time. I wanted to get that picture for Kevin because I know he would cherish it. He would cherish it like an autograph of Vince McMahon's ass, itself. So,
sure,
he does love the wrestling. So
he does. He has a whole podcast about it.
A whole one. And we encourage you to check it out. My 1, 2, 3 cents, the podcast right here on the Jerry Monkey Podcast Network, and my 1, 2, 3 cents on YouTube as well.
And you can also check out Greg and Chad's Power Half Hour. If you only have 30 minutes to listen to something, I say listen to that.
Thanks, Mike.
No problem.
That's very kind of you.
You guys talked about Halloween maybe last time. Or
something like that.
Movies. I can't remember. I listened to it, but I can't remember what
I appreciate that, Mike. I really do.
Of course.
So we talk a little bit about travel.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a little bit about some shows that we have watched. I'll be honest with you, because of just the whole week and the way it was set up and all the evening activities, I didn't really watch any TV. Watched a little bit of the Steeler game Sunday night just to watch them lose, and I was already dozing off at the end of that. But it's really weird to be in a hotel room that has 2 beds and no couches or chairs, because then you find yourself sitting in the bed and then you're kind of lounging and half laying down, and then next thing you know, the game is over.
I mean, for listeners of the podcast, they all know that Greg is notorious for falling asleep in his recliner. So I can't even imagine. Greg, I'm surprised you lasted at all. The minute you're laid down in a bed, I'm surprised you wouldn't be out.
Hey, come on now, fella. It was a long day.
No, understandable. I mean, that's what beds are for. I mean, other things, but also sleeping.
What are those other things?
Reflection.
Reflection. All right, so let's get into a couple of the trailers. Let's start with the short trailer, little teaser trailer for a little something we have coming up here in just a couple of weeks, courtesy of Disney Plus. That is Galaxy Guardian centric.
I thought you were pronouncing it wrong. Like you had just forgotten it's called Guardians of the Galaxy.
No. What makes you happier as a nerd?
Okay.
Seeing Kevin Bacon officially in the MCU, but not as Sebastian Shaw as he could be in X-Men First Class, but as himself, Kevin Bacon, or going back to Captain Marvel and seeing that they're reading the Kevin Smith Mallrats script on the bus. As a nerd, what's a little higher on your list?
Oh, simply because I'm a bigger fan of Kevin Smith than Kevin Bacon. Although I love both of them, I'm going to go with the Kevin Smith one.
It's amazing that they're two Kevins fighting for our affection.
That's true. Well, I don't think they care at all, but we can pretend they do.
I bet one of them does.
I don't even know if they know us, or maybe they're secretly fans that are watching live right now.
Well, not at this exact second, based on our statistics. No, that Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, it seemed like a lot of fun, you know, and it's Mantis and Drax traipsing around Hollywood trying to find spoilers. It's not the spoiler; it's in the trailer. Kevin Bacon, like, if we can get this for Peter Quill, then maybe he'll stop being such a mopey, ass or whatever. We get a little bit older Groot, which is kind of fun to see.
Yes.
And I'm trying to figure out the timeline of it all. I know it's released after Thor: Love and Thunder, but this has to take place after Thor: Love and Thunder, right? Like I heard,
I think so.
Somebody said, well, no, this is the right timeline because Thor: Love and Thunder, came out before Volume 3 was supposed to come out. But I'm like, I don't know.
I think it comes out after. I think it takes place after Thor: Love and Thunder.
Right, because especially because Groot is older. That right there,
Wasn't Groot older in Thor: Love and Thunder or not?
I don't know.
I don't remember now. To be honest with you,
have you seen the movie? So little. Have you seen that movie since you saw it in theaters? Did you watch it when it came out on D+?
I think I did actually, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm slowly.
I saw it twice in theaters though.
Oh, because I only saw it once. So
what is that noise?
What noise?
Do you not hear this? Is your dog around?
No, she's.
Oh no, I don't hear it.
I don't know. It was weird. I didn't hear it.
It was like I don't know. It was a weird noise. I thought it sounded like a dog sniffing, or like licking or something like that.
Okay, if you're with us in the 23 to 24 minute mark, and you hear it, comment because I didn't hear it, and I think Mike's gone crazy.
Yeah. When does the holiday special come out? By the way,
I'm glad you asked. I have to look it up, but I'm glad you asked. That doesn't even say. What good is that?
Hold with us, folks, while we look up something. November 25th.
November 25th. So 2 weeks after Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Yeah. Yes.
So.
Do you have your ticket for Black Panther yet?
I don't. But in my defense, I didn't have my ticket for Black Adam until day of. So.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about that here.
Yeah.
Just because of my target time to go watch movies, I don't really feel like I need to get a ticket.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, part of me is like, I'll get to it when I get to it.
Sure. Absolutely. But yeah, November 25th, that comes out on Disney Plus. We will, of course, be checking it out. I think it looks good. I'm going to be somewhat sad when Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes around, and that's probably going to be the last of this iteration of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right. I mean,
according to Yeah.
Well, for a couple of reasons, right? I mean, I think it was always supposed to be 3 episodes or 3 versions, and then now this is not technically in our notes or topics to discuss, but James Gunn just got himself a handy dandy little gig over at DC, where he and another gentleman are going to be I guess they're going to be DC's version of Kevin Feige.
Now, what do you think about that?
I think it's an interesting.
Sorry to interrupt. Who is he with? It's gonna be him and somebody else, right?
Yes.
So, okay, so maybe that's gonna be a balance. But sorry, what do you think of it?
Let me see. Looking for Peter Safran.
Okay.
Who is a producer. I hope that Safran can kind of keep James Gunn in check. Mm-hmm. You know, because I like James Gunn's movies. You know, the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, the Suicide Squad, his Peacemaker show, other older movies that he's done, but elements of them feel very one note. You know, it's ensemble cast, it's action and comedy, and obviously with Suicide Squad they let him do a few more things than he was able to do with Guardians of the Galaxy. But there's humor. I think what I like about the Marvel approach is that things can sometimes feel very different tonally. I don't want everything that DC does to just be a James Gunn movie, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
So that would be my big. Otherwise, I mean, like, let him have a couple, you know. Let him, you know, but I think he needs to be more hands off, you know, more big picture, and not necessarily be the filmmaker on every project. And I don't think he could. I don't think there aren't enough hours in the day. And if DC wants to pump out movies like Marvel does, I don't. He can't do it all. You know, he'll have to delegate. He'll have to say, you know, Patty Jenkins, who should come back. I'd be very interested to see, you know, what she's going to continue to do with Wonder Woman. I think that's still the plan. I don't think that they've thrown those ideas away completely, but take, you know, some good filmmakers and let them do their thing. You know, don't hold their hand too much. Just, I'm not saying necessarily take the reins off completely. I do, if they're going to, we'll get to it here eventually. But what we saw with Black Adam was kind of a uniting of a very fractured, disjointed DC universe, you know? So hopefully we can, if these two guys want, like I said, step back in that Kevin Feige advisory role, I think it'd be very good. I don't necessarily think that they just need to, you know, hammer out the movies themselves.
Agreed.
And with that, it's time to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yes, indeed.
I'm not gonna lie. The first, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the first picture or maybe cover photo on the YouTube or whatever it was that I saw, which was supposed to be Jonathan Majors, the way the angles kind of went down his cheeks, I was like, that's very Apocalypse like.
Oh yeah, true.
That was my first, and then I was like, that's not where they're going, and that's not where they're going. You definitely get more of who he's supposed to be in the trailer, but this movie looks like it's straight out of the Funny Farm, man, in the best way. Like there's a whole set of universes inside the Quantumverse, and like there are civilizations. It's like, what? No, there's large swaths of this trailer did not make sense to me.
No, but you know, I'm sure we'll learn more when it's closer to the movie to come out. I actually watched before this trailer came out. I happened to see a leaked trailer that was actually fairly good quality, because sometimes they aren't, and it's actually different from this one. So obviously there's more trailers coming out. It'd be hilarious if they just released one trailer. That's it. I don't think they're going to do that for Ant-Man and the
February,
Wasp.
right?
I think so.
Like the latter half of February. So I imagine we'll probably get one after Christmas, or maybe before Christmas, and then maybe the last ones for Super Bowl.
True. Yeah.
February
17th.
Let me ask you this: do you think that Ant-Man and Wasp is a big enough property that Marvel would spend Super Bowl ad money for? Or do you think if it was an Avengers or if they were bringing back Iron Man, I'm not saying they should, but you know what I mean?
I think it's one of their lowest ranked properties, to be honest with you. Not saying it's bad in any way. I just think it's one of the lowest ranked ones. However, they have the money and they will do a Super Bowl trailer or whatever.
And if you take, I'm not taking anything away from Ant-Man and Wasp. Lord knows Paul Rudd gets better, every time you see him. But you are introducing a major villain who's going to take over the next couple of years, right? So, I mean, it makes sense to get as many eyeballs on it as possible, and what better opportunity than the Super Bowl?
And also, though, so they might introduce another. I'm trying to think of what trailers come afterwards. Like if there's a movie that comes out in April or May of 2023, they might that might be a trailer they have on there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just looking real quick. Marvel's is being released in July of 2023.
Okay.
According
That's a little bit too far away, but still.
No, I don't disagree. Let's see here if I can. No, so of course some of these timelines have shifted. Kraven the Hunter. We're still not getting Kraven the Hunter in January of next year, are we? I haven't heard anything about that in a while.
Yeah, I mean that's
not that it's not necessarily a Marvel property.
No, it's not.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, 2020.
Okay, so that's what it will be.
So I would imagine that there's going to be something along those lines in some tie-in to that in the holiday special too.
Yeah. But I think we'll get a TV spot for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, like a 10-second TV spot, and then we'll get a trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That's my prediction. You heard it here first, folks.
We did, and we are ready to move on. This is where he commented on Facebook saying that he doesn't know how to comment on YouTube, which makes no sense. But best friend of the show, Josh, is probably where we're going to lose him, because we're going to start talking about Black Adam.
Yes, but we're not going to spoil it just yet.
Okay.
So you can stay on a little bit longer, because I told Greg that I had to tell the story of what happened to me before the movie started. And I think best friend of the show, Josh, will like this.
Before we get there, while we have Josh here, you think we should talk about the movie that you haven't seen yet?
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Okay, go ahead and tell the people because they're making a sequel, a long-awaited sequel, starring the beloved and renowned and apparently innocent or whatever Johnny Depp.
Yes.
And they're making Beetlejuice 2. But there's a problem, Mike. You can't watch Beetlejuice 2 until you see
the first Beetlejuice, which I have never seen before.
And that movie is 30 years old.
Yes. I have it queued. I think I've seen clips of it. I know that. And you know what's funny? I've seen the Saturday morning cartoon. I remember watching that a couple of times, actually.
I remember it used to be on. I used to watch it before school in the morning. And I'll never forget, there's, of course, Beetlejuice and Lydia, but there's one episode where I think every cartoon of a certain era had to have their like Indiana Jones parody.
Yes.
And Beetlejuice was no different, but he was Grim Deanna Bones.
Nice.
I remember that.
So I've seen the cartoon. I've seen Beetlejuice show up in Community.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I basically that's like watching it, right?
No, you got
that. Actually, no. I what's funny is even way before Beetlejuice 2 was announced, I have it on HBO Max in my list because one time I was just going through and putting stuff in my list, and it's been there for a while now. I just have not gotten to sit down. I mean, I've had plenty of time to sit down, do it in browser, but not on the app. So it's Halloween. Watch Beetlejuice. I plan on watching Beetlejuice.
Hi, Josh. We're so glad you were able to figure it out.
I do. I'm going to watch Beetlejuice. I've heard good things. I don't know if it's going to be as good as people say, but that's based on nostalgia. I think if you watch it when you're younger, then which it kind of. I was talking to Nolan about the Christmas movie tournament, and he was asking me what my top ones would be. And I told him, I said, mine are. Somebody could argue with me that these aren't even that good, but mine are based on nostalgia.
Sure.
I won't say they were, but
it's coming, ladies and gentlemen. The Christmas movie tournament is back with some different movies and some newer movies, some movies that are a little more recent into your memory banks, and we are going to bring you that sometime starting in November, because Mike has put it all on me. He's like, you're going to drag your feet. This is your tournament now, bucko.
Yeah, we got 32 movies. So, like I said, some new movies. We'll have new matchups. And we'll put it all on Facebook and Twitter and wherever else we can. And we'll see. We'll see if the champ defends his title, or if there's a new one. Who knows?
That's true. And in our list, the list that we made, I accidentally wrote down Scrooged twice.
That is true.
Best friend of the show, Josh, you gave Gremlins earlier. We're going to need another Christmas movie to round out the 32. Don't worry, we have Ernest Saves Christmas on the list because I knew if we didn't, you'd pitch a fit.
And hey, I like Ernest Saves Christmas.
It's an all-timer. It is an all-timer. Probably won't make it out of the first round.
I agree with you, but I watched it last year. Actually, I forgot. I think it was like on Netflix or something, and I was like, yes, it's an Ernest movie, but there's got a lot of heart to it. Like,
oh, sure.
I don't think people give it as much credit as it should get. I don't think it's gonna win, but I would like to see it go a little further.
I have to see if I can find, like in a secondhand store or something, a Blu-ray / DVD player. And before you shake your head and wonder why, I'll tell you.
I figured you would.
It's because most of my Christmas movies are on DVD or Blu-ray.
And you don't have a PS4, right?
I had to unplug it. It's just pretty much stopped working.
Right.
So, and the PS3 that was upstairs, same thing.
Yeah, I'm sure there's I'm probably at Walmart. You might be able to get a cheap Blu-ray player.
That's all I want. As long as I can play Blu-ray and DVD, because those old and this we didn't talk about. I think Jules Bass from Rankin and Bass, the guys who produced and created like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Jules Bass died this past week.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so right before all of the movies and shows that he's famous for are about to hit the TV again. Didn't get one more run with it, but such is life. So, all right. So we will both watch Beetlejuice before Halloween.
Yes.
and because we have a few days to do that. Now, let us turn our attention to the movie that we both saw last Friday, and that movie being Black Adam.
Yes, absolutely. Like I was telling you, so I ordered my ticket online, of course. I always order it in advance, just because of the time I go, as compared to the time you go. I go more in the evening time, you go more in the afternoon time. So I ordered my ticket, and I usually order my food in advance as well, because I don't want to stand in the line of the people that have to order. I can just go up to the counter and pick up my food. Now, granted, there's been a couple times where instead of standing in the line of people that order, I stand in the line of people that have already ordered
to pick up food.
This time that didn't. Okay, so I order my food. I go on the app, get my nachos. Nachos have been my go-to movie food for 15 years now, at least, right? So what I always get, nachos and a soda. So I order my nachos, right? And then I go to order a soda. And the beverages are on there, and the options are coffee or bottled beverages is what it says. I don't care what my soda comes in, whatever. I click on it, and there's sweet tea, unsweet tea, water, milk.
I don't know, Gatorade, maybe, or Powerade.
I don't even know if that was on there, to be honest with you. I might have picked, but maybe it was, but no soda whatsoever. And I'm like, that can't be. I'm like, there's no way they're out of soda. Like, it makes more sense for them to be out of nachos than to be out of soda, because I'm not the only one who gets soda in a movie theater.
Yeah, no.
If the soda machine broke down, the fountain soda machine broke down, they would be calling another theater to get whatever part they need to fix it. Right? But still, I'm like, okay. And I tried a couple of times to get a soda. I'm like, okay, well, I might have to go old school now, and allegedly maybe sneak a soda in there, right? So before the movie starts, I ordered my nachos though. I go and I get a soda, and I put it in the cargo pants, which, by the way, I honestly don't think that the theater people even care. Like, I honestly think I could just carry a soda in there and they'd be like, whatever. But anyway, so I have my soda in my pocket, and I have my ticket. Then I go to the counter for the food, and I get my nachos, and I'm about ready. I have about 15 minutes before the movie starts. And I was like, they have a little bar over there. I'm like, you know what? I haven't had a beer at the movie theater in a while. Right? I'll go grab a beer. Right? I'll bring, so that I'll have my beer. I'll have my soda, not together. Don't do that. And have my nachos. All right? Good movie experience. So I go over, I order a beer, pay way too much for it. Like, stupid price.
$7.
And I tipped, by the way. But yeah, you're supposed to tip for
$9.
But what?
Wait. Is it like a 16-ounce?
It was a tall boy.
Okay.
It was a draft. It was a big boy. It was a Blue Moon.
Okay. 12.
Yes. Plus $2 tip. Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
Greg, it gets worse. Greg. So I go over to where the stand is, where they have like butter and napkins and forks, maybe. I don't know what else they have there. And I put my nachos down. I put my beer down. I grab the napkins, put a bunch of napkins in with the nachos. I pick up the nachos, and then I tell my hand, "Hey, hand, pick up this beer."
Oh, no.
What my hand hears is, "Hey, slap that completely full beer just away from you." That's apparently what it hurts. Because Greg, I went 5 steps, if that, from the bar to here, did not take a drink of it, and literally just went. And I'm like, and I look at it, I'm like, oh my god, and I'm like, I looked like there was a usher that just like walked by. I'm like, I'm so sorry, dude. And he's like, no, it's cool. And then I walk back over to the bar. And I was hoping the bartender saw it and was like, oh, I got you. And because he looks at me and just this confused look, like, why are you back already? And I kind of like looked over there, and he goes, I'll get you after these people. And I'm like, yeah, of course. There's people ahead of me. I wasn't expecting to come in line. So I was like, yeah, I just need another Blue Moon. And he goes, okay. And he goes, "Oh, it's right over there." I thought it was gonna be like, "Oh, just pick it up." No, I had to pay for it again, and I tipped again. That's not even the worst. So okay, I did have that beer. I'm like, I'm gripping this beer good. I don't care about my nachos. So I sit down and everything, and have my beer, have my soda, I'm eating my nachos. I realized something. So like I said, nachos have been my go-to movie food for 15 years at least. The last, not the time watching Black Adam, but the time before that, I'm eating the nachos. I'm like, these aren't that good. Like they're on a scale of 1 to 10, they're like a 4.
Ooh.
I finished them. Don't get me wrong.
Of course,
I finished
you power through.
Yeah. This time around, again, I was like, oh, these aren't good. So now I have to do one of two things. I figured this out. One, I had to find a new movie food, which I'm not the big popcorn fan. Don't get me wrong. Put popcorn in front of me, I'll eat it, but it's okay. So I had to find a new movie food, or I have to find a new theater, which I looked into going to O'Fallon, the O'Fallon one. So I'm like, well, it's not that much further away. It's 7 minutes further, which would be 14 minutes round trip. So not too bad. And I think, and they have the reserved seating, of course. They have the recliners. I don't think the tickets are that much more. So that might be something I do for Black Panther, which I already have my ticket at the one I normally go to, but I might have to. I don't know. I'll decide at some point in time. Yeah.
I mean, I've done that before. I've returned like a ticket that I got through Fandango, which is my kind of go-to. Return it, and then just like it basically saves as like app credit, and then you can use that app credit at another theater. So I've done that before.
Yeah. Oh well, and actually, when I saw Black Adam originally, I had 2 tickets for it. It was gonna be me and my son, and then he had to babysit that night, so I was able to return his ticket, and that worked out just fine. So, yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't know if somebody has suggestions for a movie food besides popcorn. I think nachos are the best.
I saw this at my O'Fallon cinema. Almost pulled the trigger on it, but I went with popcorn, and I got a medium bucket of popcorn, which like I'd like to say that it lasted me through the trailers, but it did not. There were a lot of trailers, and I got a bottle of water. But I saw they have warm pretzel bites.
That might be something. Yeah, that might be something. I don't mind a good pretzel bite.
Now let me ask you this: in regards to your nachos, was the dissatisfying part the chip or the cheese?
More of the cheese.
Okay. There's probably the same cheese on the pretzel bites, and I regret to say.
But by the way, they used to be really good.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe they just had to get a different supplier, for a while.
Yeah. I don't know.
But no, I did the bucket. With benefit of hindsight, I should have got the large, or should have got. I try not to overdo it at the theater. Always get a bottle of water, and usually we'll do popcorn. Sometimes this is key. Sometimes Reese's Pieces.
Oh, I love Reese's Pieces. Absolutely, yes. So you can get that cheaper somewhere else, though. Bring it in if you want,
Mike.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
I don't think you're allowed to do that, Mike.
All right, Greg. I want to know what you thought of Black Adam.
All right, this is where we're probably going to lose best friend of the show, Josh. Our apologies, Josh. We'll see you in
Josh,
6 months to 18 months.
While you're away, feel free to read Lock and Key and send it over to Greg.
Yeah, at least volumes 1 and 2.
No, well, actually, just read. I see. Here's the thing, right here. I already read volume 1. Just start with volume 2, actually.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to send it back out to him. So, Josh, if you want to read them, you better read them all. Otherwise, Mike's going to pay to ship it back out to you.
No, what I'll do, I'm just going to buy volume 2 within next month.
Oh, Mike.
Okay. All right, Black Adam.
Oh, it's after my bedtime.
Before Greg falls asleep.
I thought the movie was very good. And this microphone feels so soft to sleep against.
You know, one thing I realized, and it's something we had talked about back when Black Adam was not even first announced, because apparently it was announced in 2008, but we talked about it a couple years back, and I believe we both said that there's no way Black Adam is going to be a straight up villain, and
Yeah.
he was not. He was not at all. He tried to make you think that he's a villain, like, oh, I'm no hero. But,
right, and he said that a million times to drive that point home. No, and that was that, and it wasn't a concern. You know, like again, I like The Rock enough that I'm like, I trust him. You know, and I know that he really. I mean, I don't know how active he was in the story, and but the movie that I watched, I really enjoyed.
absolutely.
And it kept certain elements of the character very fluid, and to where I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah, no, he's looking out for his people, but oh man, he's also kind of just straight up attacking the heroes, and that's kind of a villain move. But the where it ended, including the mid credit scene, was a place that I was at peace with. I thought I was like fairly true to my interpretation of the character.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So there were some nice twists, I suppose you could call them, along the way, in the aspects that I don't know if we're going to spoil or at least spoil yet. But some nice character twists. I really liked all members of the JSA, from Aldous Hodges, Hawkman, not to be confused with Hawkeye, to Pierce Brosnan, to Cyclone and Atom Smasher, who's, I apologize to those kids who were portraying those characters, but I don't remember your names. It was a great, if they don't clean the nozzle for 6 years, the cheese gets off. Okay, well, we're a little beyond that, Josh.
No, but also, Josh, they don't. It wasn't. It was a cup of cheese. It's like back in the day, yes, you could pump the cheese. That sounds weird, but yes.
So no, I really liked the interactions between Black Adam and the JSA. I liked the young family. Oh, gee. I like the mom and son, who were from Kandak.
Kondak.
Sorry, thank you. My apologies to the people of the fictional region of the world. I hope this doesn't get into spoiler territory, but I apologize if it does for those people who haven't seen it yet. The presence, not just the presence, but the power, I think, or maybe the positioning of Amanda Waller was unexpected. Like, I didn't really think that Amanda Waller would be pulling strings for the JSA. If they would have sent, she would have sent like Peacemaker or something like that over there, I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. But I don't think Hawkman, and I know Dr. Fate don't have incendiary devices implanted in the base of their skull, so I don't know what leverage she would have had there. But all manners of the story, I thought, upped DC's game just a little bit,
Would you say that the hierarchy is now changed in the DC universe?
No.
Well, according to The Rock, it is.
So
you had a hierarchy before, right? And then it's changed now.
Oh, okay. Maybe no. Did you watch the pitch meeting on this?
Yes, of course.
They're like, we should get The Rock to play. Oh, which one? The Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, did you think that I meant an actual rock to?
Or where he, what did he say? He was talking about that him being he's no hero. And he's like, okay, and he kills a lot of people. Well, where he kills the good guys? No, he kills really bad people. But so that he make him a hero. Oh no, but he just says he's not a hero.
Not a hero.
Yeah.
No, like I said, all aspects of the movie were super enjoyable for me, and now that we're back down to 0 viewers, I don't mind spoiling the fact that when Black Adam changes from, first of all, I didn't think Black Adam could change out of his Black Adam form because of his age. Right. I thought that when he did, he would wither away to dust, but apparently that's not how it works in Black Adam land. When he's in the facility, and you see a lot of various sized, suspension pods there, I get to me wondering, who is in all those pods?
Oh yeah,
because some of them were much, much larger. But I mean, let's talk about the worst kept secret regarding the movie, and that would be that post credit scene.
Yeah, Henry Cavill is back.
And did your theater go a little? Did your theater pop for it a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, there were some people who I guess maybe didn't read the internet that day, and they were all like,
didn't watch any interview that The Rock did where he basically said that Henry Cavill is back.
Yeah, and not only that, I mean he's back, but now they're talking Man of Steel 2. Mm-hmm. I think we talked about this in the past, but Walter Hamada is out of Warner Brothers, which is probably for the best, because now we can get Ray Fisher back and a sweet Cyborg movie.
Hey, I thought the way they had Cyborg in not the Justice League, but the Zack Snyder Justice League, I thought that was great.
Oh no, I agree. It was so much better than the other iteration, because we actually got to see a little bit more about the character rather than just the Tin Man type of portrayal. So that was part tongue in cheek on my part, but it was a little bit on the sincere side as well. So, but no, I'm excited for the direction that the DCU, I believe, is what it's being shortened to now. I'm excited for the direction that it's going.
So I know you mentioned the JSA, the Justice Society. Who would you want to see in a spinoff if they were to do a spinoff? Which one of those characters? Either a series or on their own movie.
I guess I can't pick two, can I?
Sure, pick two.
I would like to see more Hawkman, and
yes.
I'd like to see more Dr. Fate.
Absolutely, yes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Cyclone and Atom Smasher, and I liked what they were, the direction they were pointing those two characters.
Yeah.
But, I would love to learn more about Nth Metal, and have Shiara, his always reincarnated wife, come back or make her appearance. And then you can give me Dr. Fate all day long.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I did an article about this years back, maybe 2019, when I was writing an article every day, and I was like, "Who's your favorite Doctor? Is it Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate, Doctor Who? Blah blah blah." I was like, there were some similarities too. I mean, maybe you can only portray magic in so many different ways, but it's a lot of the hand motions and but no, I enjoyed all avenues of those characters. I enjoyed all avenues of the JSA, period. Again, with the only, if I had to a single gripe, it would be they're not ones to take orders from Waller, but that would be it. That's a pretty minor gripe, I think, in the long run. And with Waller, then you tie in the Suicide Squad movies. So, everything is the DCU is more united, perhaps, than we ever thought before.
Yeah.
Until the Flash, in 2 months that blows it to pieces.
Isn't it coming out in 2 months?
I thought it was December.
It might be, honestly. I don't remember. That seems like if it's coming out in December, you would think a trailer would be out.
My apologies, I'm wrong again. Got pushed back to June 23rd.
Okay.
Probably to try to keep Ezra Miller from, out of the public eye for a little while.
But no. Here's the thing with that though, is you would want to give as little time as possible, because if it would have came out in December, okay, now he's got to make it through 2 months. That's it.
Yeah,
true. November, December. Now he's got to make it through November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, or May at least.
Yeah.
So I think they're getting rid of him.
I can't imagine they'd want to keep him around.
No. But with the JSA real quick, I did find it a little bit funny. I loved him as well. But when Cyclone was doing her thing and she was picking up all the, debris or whatever, and like whatever she was launching at Black Adam, I was thinking to myself, what's that going to do? Like, bullets didn't do anything. Like, that would be great against Immortal, where you can pick up a bunch of trees if you want and launch them at somebody. Black Adam is not going to do anything. He's just going to it's going to hit him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And then what do you think about, because we've seen Giant Man, in Marvel. What did you think? I thought when Atom Smasher got big, the running looked less clunky. I mean, I know the character's, designed to be a little clumsy and a little awkward and a little not sure of himself, but when you look at Captain America: Civil War, or you look at the climax of Endgame, and I'm not taking anything away. I mean, nobody's to blame, but with that much size, you're going to move like this. Whereas I thought like Atom Smasher just had a little bit more fluidity to his movements.
Yeah, I agree. I also thought it was funny that he was going the wrong way. He was running the wrong way to the battle.
Shit.
Yeah. So I would agree with you that I would want to see more of Dr. Fate, and spoiler alert, I don't know if we're going to, because he dies. He sacrifices himself.
But
I was going to say, there's other iterations of the Dr. Fate, yes. In fact, I thought for sure that the kid was going to pick up the helmet. I thought that was going to be like, too. I thought maybe that was going to be not in the movie, but like I thought maybe like near the end you see the kid pick up that helmet or something. Which also I didn't know this about the family in the movie. Yes. The family in the movie, that apparently in the comics there's the Black Marvel family is what they're called, which is essentially the opposite of the Shazam family, which it was technically the Captain Marvel family, and then so that's why they had Captain Marvel family and Black Marvel family. Sounds very bad, but that's what it is in the comics. But they all turn into superheroes as well. I did not know that. There's some things I don't know about comics, because there's too many comics out there. I can't read them all. I try.
You should try harder.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Yay! All done. So yeah, that and I didn't know that either. But Alex Ross sure did, and he is some good paint art on that Black Marvel family.
Yes, actually, speaking of Black Adam was actually in Forever Evil, the comic that I read. I just remember that. Only reason I remember it because I think it was somebody did. Oh, it was the evil version of Superman, Ultraman, broke his jaw, and so he couldn't say his word. He says Shazam. I think, does he say Shazam in the comics? Yes. But he couldn't say it.
It'd be very self-serving to be like, Black Adam.
Well, you know what? It's funny that they even call it Black Adam, the movie Black Adam, because he was known as Tith Adam up until Teth Adam. Sorry, Teth Adam up until the last 5 minutes of the movie, if that.
But he had to adopt a darker, more menacing, more modern name. Like Teth Adam, nobody's going to be afraid of Teth Adam, but
I said there were some
Black Adam. Watch
there
out.
were some. There were some funny parts to the movie too. With
I agree.
Him trying to say his catchphrase. Tell him the men in black sent you, but like just other people who keep dying before he could say it,
or he says it wrong.
yeah.
Tell the man in black that shit.
Yeah. Or he says it to the kid, and the kid's like, no, you don't say it to me.
You say it to the people you're gonna kill, or people you're gonna stop. Yeah, and the kid was like, I honestly when it opened up, and you first see the kid, I thought the kid was him.
Oh yeah.
Is that a thought that you had while you were watching the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did we leave any meat on that bone, or did we successfully clear out Black Adam?
I would say the only other, I was talking about funny moments. The other moment I was thinking of is when he had tossed the guy, and then I think it was Dr. Fate comes around and he's like, all right, we can like pick his brain, or I can get into his brain and we can find out where where the kid is. and then he's like, you killed him or something like that. And then you see the guy fall in the distance, and he's like, he didn't make it.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Like I said, it was a good movie. It had I don't know what DC movie I would compare it to. I'd probably, find better comparison as far as the blend of action and humor and things like that with the Marvel movie. But I mean, I enjoyed the heck out of it. It was good. Like, you can definitely tell that Dwayne had been wanting to play this role and have it be successful for a while.
Yeah.
So, no, it was all right. I liked it. I'm excited for more from the DCU now that they have a couple of capable minds on track for things, and we will see what the future holds for the DCU. In the meantime, we're less than 2 weeks away now from Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Get your tickets, or be a roll the dice and try to get them when I get them, which is day of. But in a couple weeks, we'll talk about that, and we'll give you a week or so to marinate on, and then we'll spoil it for you here, because that's what we do. We like to spoil things.
Yes, indeed.
But if you're watching this on a Friday night and you haven't seen Black Adam, then to quote The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade, you chose poorly.
All right.
So, for our first fully live version of the show, it's a work in progress, and we'll get it right. We'll make it better. But we thank you for joining us, and for the comments, and watch it back, and tell your friends, share it with them, and just know that we will probably do it live again. We won't wait another 100 episodes to do it. That wouldn't be fair to you. We'll do it sooner than that. But for the co-host of the year, Mike Luther, I'm Greg Mahochko. This is Nerds United on the Jittery Monkey Podcast Network, and available virtually live, not virtually, available via video live on YouTube. We remind you each and every week to be kind
and rewind.